Hey guys, Chris Token Vaping. Today's juice review is from Smokeless Aces, and I'm sorry, I have to tell you, that is a badass logo, black or white. They sent me both of these, way cool. I love the little sticker thingy things like that. These guys are based in Oxnard, California. They have multiple flavors on their website. You can go to smokelessaces.com, and actually one of the cool things on their site is they have a section on it called Why Vape, and it's actually kind of cool because it breaks down some of the chemical differences between cigarette smoking and vaping chemicals, and basically they're telling you like all the crap that's in cigarettes for the most part, and then pretty much the fact that there's not a whole lot in vaping that's anywhere near as toxic or as bad for you. They are not trying to tell you that vaping is healthy by any means. Don't get me wrong. Most vapors will not ever say that it's healthy for you. It is a much better alternative, however, though. That it is. I've smoked for many years, and finally I was able to quit, thankfully, due to vaping, and it has made a drastic difference in, basically everything. My taste is back. My sense of smell is a bit stronger. I definitely breathe a lot better. And again, I'm not by any means saying that vaping is healthy, but it is much better to your body than cigarette, tobacco, cigar, pipe, anything like that, chewing. So again, I don't condone either of them if you don't do either. However, if you do smoke, cigar smoke, pipe smoke, I definitely strongly support the vaping community. 100%, absolutely, definitely try to do the switch over if it's possible. There are many good quality resources out there, a lot of people that are able to benefit and help. In my area, I have my boy Efren at Crucial Vapes, Jason up at Northwest Fog Vapor Lounge, I apologize, among a few other places in my local area. But I mean, in anywhere that you go, I have to give a shout out to my boy D down at Cloud9 in Texas. If you're in that area, check him out. I mean, it's all to support everybody as a whole. I do apologize, I don't mean to go off on a rant like that. However, Smokeless Aces. Now, I don't like to say that I'm a vaping expert by any means. I'm not. I still have close friends of mine, that are helping me learn how to build properly and all the proper steps to the ins and outs to vaping. I do like to think that I have had quite a bit of experience, especially through doing reviews of trying various lines and juices. So I have to admit, I was surprised by this line, at least by the set of flavors that I was sent. I won't say it's because of the flavor. Don't get me wrong, full-bodied in flavor, very flavorful in that aspect. But I was impressed by this line for something that I guess a lot of people may not think about or look at. When you're vaping, obviously there's a lot of stuff that goes into being able to properly make the right mixture for the proper flavor of juices. And along those lines, there are times when there are certain chemicals in them that are eventually going to like kill your cotton faster, or dye it, or gum it up, or things like that. And I mean, there are other variables involved in that as well, as far as temperature and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get all technical or sound like I'm an expert. But something that I was impressed with this line is that this is their bottle. Before I get too carried away, Smokeless Aces. It is a glass bottle, very clear bottle. The label is clear. Again, love the logo, guys. Whoever designed that logo for you, very awesome job. Give a shout out to Steve Yu, who I believe they credited as redesigning their new website. Looks really cool as well. But there's the logo, there's the name of the flavor, black and blue. There is the nic level. There is the name of their logo there, the name of their company. They do have their ingredients level. There is a part over here on the label. It's kind of hard to see because it is glass, but it has the different levels of nicotine. And then they do have the warning label, just like everybody else. Child safety seal. There is a seal for it when it's busted. But if you can see it, I know it's kind of hard with the light, but it's a clear. Now, not all of them are clear, obviously, but this one, I'm just, as you can tell, I kind of went through it. I've used it quite a bit. But that's part of what this point is. I've been vaping on this pretty much most of about a day, day and a half, on the same coil, on the same wick. Now, normally, after a day or so of using it, of any type of juice, depending on what's in it, your cotton is basically going to darken or turn a color. After almost 2 days of use, if you can tell, my cotton honestly still looks clean. I mean, it still looks like I just put it in and I just started vaping. That's actually really cool to me, because part of it goes also to the fact, and you don't taste a whole lot of syrupiness or juice type things like that. It's actually very, very, very cool to, you know, be able to vape on something, look at it, and realize that, hey, you know what? There isn't a whole lot in there that's gonna really, really stick either to my lungs or the inside of my mouth or anything like that. And again, that's not to say every single flavor of theirs is like that, or that every e-juice out there is like that. But I just happen to notice that out of the few flavors that I did try that they graciously sent me, you know, most of the cotton on my Addy didn't change colors to a whole lot. In that sense, it was actually very, very cool. Like I said, nowadays everybody's all trying to be all, you know, government regulated, or basically assume that the government's going to be a certain way about certain things, and they want to make sure that, you know, they're following guidelines. And again, with this company, as many others, you know, most of the ingredients are USA. It's all made and manufactured in the USA, so I mean, they are trying to keep everything natural and real, and as least amount of chemical processed, induced, however you want to word it, as possible. Most of them pretty much don't have a whole lot in them, but it's nice to see, you know, little things like that that just amplify, you know, the positive emphasis on the fact that they're trying to make vaping, you know, better for you than other alternatives. But again, you know, flavor-wise, and this is on, still on my 56. Nice cloud outburst. You know, they use as much VG as they can without it starting to affect the flavor. They do intend this to be as full-bodied flavor and full cloud chasing as possible. And cranking it up to 65 definitely produces a bit more, so you can definitely see the advancement in that. That's black and blue, as I was showing you from their line. That is a mix of blue and blackberries. If you've never had blackberries before, they do have a very distinctive flavor to them. I did spend some time in Montana, so there was a lot of blackberries used up in that area. So I'm not, again, I didn't eat blackberries all the time, but I do know the flavor of them. You definitely get a mixture of the two. You know, your inhale is definitely more blueberry than blackberry, but the vape itself and the exhale is definitely more blackberry. But again, not super sweet, not too much. It's just enough mix of the two that it definitely gives you a very enjoyable vape off of that. And it's very clean. You know, regardless of what's in them. You know, out of all the flavors that they sent me 5 of them, which thank you so very much, Smokeless Aces. You guys are amazing. They're all very clean. It's like most of the other lines that I've been doing reviews for. You know, everybody's getting better, and maybe it's just because material or source-wise is getting better, access to better quality stuff. But everything from Smokeless Aces has a very clean vape to it. There's no heaviness to it. It doesn't have that kick in the throat. It doesn't have the overabundance of sweetness or sugar taste to it or anything like that. They just have a very clean, comfortable vape to them. So that's very, very enjoyable from them. The 5 flavors that they gave me was the black and blue, which is blueberry blackberry mix, butterscotch, which literally tastes exactly like butterscotch. So if you like the candy, it definitely is going to be the choice for you. It's not, again, not overly sweet, but it is a very warm. Once you have a butterscotch candy in your mouth for a few minutes and it starts to melt, that's the vape flavor that you get throughout the vape. It's very, very, very enjoyable. Monkey Punch, I love the name. Out of the 5 that they sent me, that's going to be my favorite out of this line. That will be the one that I would pick. It's a banana cream. It's a mix between a banana cream pie and a banana split. So you get the custardy creamy pie taste of it, and then on the undertone of it you get a banana split type dessert flavor. So it's a really nice combination of the two. I definitely, if no other flavor out of the 5 that I mentioned, if that was the only one that you tried, that would be a very good example to represent the quality that this company is putting out. The other 2 are, one is called Muddy Flavor. This one is a hazelnut, butter pecan, and hint of coffee. The butter pecan and the hazelnut I did enjoy in it. The undertone of the coffee was a little much for me just because I don't drink coffee. I tried coffee once in my life, didn't like it, I've never touched it since. So it's not that I thought it was a bad flavor, it just wasn't my choice, but it does definitely exist in the vape of that. So if you do like coffee, it definitely is one that I would definitely recommend to you to try at least. It may not be strong enough for you. It is meant to be a hint of it, so that the hazelnut butter pecan, it's almost kind of like you're eating like the butter pecan cinnamon roll, just without the cinnamon, with a cup of coffee. So basically having that all together in one vape is actually, for some people, it'd be like a good morning light breakfast type thing. And then the other one is called WTF. Yes, WTF. This one is basically kind of the everything under the sun. It's a combination of blueberry, raspberry, blackberry, strawberries, and then they throw in a hint of kiwi. This one had a very strong, solid flavor all the way through the vape. For some people, I could definitely see this being a little too sweet just because of so many berries being mixed into this flavor. The kiwi basically kind of is just enough to where it gives it a crisp little kick at the end, so as not to be a complete solid, overly sweet vape. It is very flavorful. You can actually, once you vape it a few different times, you definitely can start picking out the different berry flavors in that. So my hat's off to Smokeless Aces for being able to emulate the different berry flavors in one vape there. They do offer 3 sizes on their website. If you go, again, smokelessaces.com, they do offer a 15 milliliter bottle, a 30 ml bottle, and a 120 ml bottle. Pricing for those, according to their site, is $9.95 for the 15, $14.95 for the 30, and $44.95 for the 120. Now, one thing that is cool about the Smokeless Aces is that they do offer wholesale pricing. So if you do order in the wholesale area, they do have a separate one for that. They also offer a little bit of a discount if you order in bulk, which is very cool depending on how many bottles you plan on ordering. There are some, depending on your quantity, there is quite a nice discount on the higher amounts. As far as I'm aware at the moment, according to their site, there is a total of about 76 flavors. So trust me, there's definitely something in their flavor menu that almost almost anybody can find that they can at least vape. Whether it's one flavor, whether it's multiple flavors, there's going to be at least something there that anybody can pretty much pick out and say, I can do that one. And they do offer multiple nicotine levels. Obviously with the 0, they do a 3, a 6, a 12, an 18, and they go up to a 24. You know, most vapors that I know don't go as high as a 24. Not to say that they never have, but most of them usually have, through the graciousness of God and the willingness to be able to tone themselves down and wean themselves off the nicotine, they usually stay on the lower end. But Smokeless Aces does accommodate pretty much everybody's needs, so they do have all of those. They are on Instagram, they are on Facebook. I'm not sure if they have a Twitter. That was the one thing that I wasn't sure about. I don't use Twitter, so I'm not up to date as to who all has one and who doesn't. But again, overall, very pleased with this line. Nothing really negative to say about it. Very solid flavors, great cloud production, good quality bottles, like I said, with the child safety seals and all the necessary components to make out the label. Sorry. But again, you know, a very good, solid, high quality company. You know, it's an enjoyable all-day vape, or even if you were just looking for something just to do, you know, a couple of times a day, just to satisfy a craving or a sweet tooth even. Definitely a really good choice. Again, Smokeless Aces, Smokeless Aces right there. Handcrafted in the USA. That's one of the other things. According to their site, most of the orders that they receive, they'll bottle the juices when they get the orders. So it's not that they have multiple bottles all sitting on a shelf and then they just pick it off the shelf and throw it in a box. Once the order comes in, that's what they bottle. So that's really kind of cool to help ensure the freshness of it. They also try to ship out pretty much next day from when they receive the order, so they try to get the items to you as quickly as possible. I do believe that they try to ship out same day, depending on how early they get the order, if it's possible. So their attention to customer service and customer satisfaction is very impressive. So my hat's off to you again for that, Smokeless Aces. Again, thank you guys for this wonderful experience and opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed your juices. I definitely will be informing anybody and everybody that I can. Guys, Chris with Token Vaping. Definitely hit a subscribe on my YouTube. Definitely follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Anything that you have, any questions, comments, constructive criticism, anything you'd like to see me try to do, if I can get my hands on it, whether through the company, through myself, however, you know, tokenvaping@gmail.com. Definitely shoot me an email. Love being able to do this for everybody, and hopefully someday somebody at least sees one of these and just says, hey, you know what, I'll give that a shot. You know, I did what I wanted to do, and that's just to help. Until then, you know what, vape on, vape strong, and we are all one giant vaping community. We need to remember that and stick together. Vape love to everybody. Have a good night, guys.